difficult, but of course you have to get out of your comfort zone for anything to change. Hello guys, so I have decided to film my journey. I'm gonna post, hopefully, I'm not committing, but hopefully I'll post weekly. Let's just say I didn't do that. So I definitely forgot to continue doing that video, but that's why we are here today, because I am going to be reviewing and explaining my experience and how everything went. Let's get to it. So firstly, I wanted to talk about the camp as a whole. So I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to like share like the food and every specific thing, just because they are a place of business and that's what they sell. So basically you go to the camp and they have this plan for you that based on your height and how much you weigh, depends on whether you start with the 20-pound 6-week challenge or the hard body 6-week challenge. And the difference between that is the 20 pounds,
obviously it's to lose 20 pounds.
The hard body is that you're at a weight where you can drop body fat, and the goal is to lose 5% body fat by the end of that 6 weeks. And so what they do is they offer the classes at the camp, and they give you a pamphlet that tells you exactly what you need to do, exactly the foods that you need to take, and how it's going to work throughout the 6 weeks. And so I want to talk about my experience and how it went for me, what I look like now versus what I look like then, blah blah blah, everything in between. A year ago I did this challenge. I did the hard body because at the time I didn't weigh as much, and it was difficult, but of course you have to get out of your comfort zone for anything to change. So for me, I don't know why, but it's a little harder for me to drop weight as quickly as like somebody else. Everybody's different, of course, but I don't know, I just had that issue and I was worried, but I did finish, obviously, because that's why I'm making this video. I wanted to talk about my experience with the food. I'm gonna put a couple clips up. Basically I tried to make sure I wasn't getting bored of the foods. I tried to enjoy the foods. Of course, there were times where I wanted a pizza, where I wanted something else, but that ultimately wasn't going to lead me to where I am today at my goal. And my best advice would be to find things that like help you push through. For me, I bought these unsweetened matcha teas at Trader Joe's, and what I would do I would add a couple drops of stevia, and it'll be like a matcha drink except without like the milk, of course. Just kind of finding loopholes and stuff that help you keep on track. I am a very big ice eater, and so most of the time I was just munching on ice. A big thing for me was the water. You do have to drink a gallon of water a day. Sometimes I didn't do it, sometimes I did a little more. It just depended on how quickly you started. It is intimidating, of course, but once you do it one day, you'll understand how you can do it the rest of the days, if that makes sense. I wanted to talk about my successes and my struggles.
I did have like a little breakdown
halfway through, just because I felt like I wasn't doing enough, even though I was doing everything that I could do. And so my suggestion to just do as much as you can, but don't overdo it. Don't kill yourself for something like this. And another thing is that if you're not able to like commit to these types of things and understand that you will be under a little bit of stress just because like you
are restricted,
I would suggest first like starting off with something that suits your needs. Another struggle that I had was like, I'm very picky with what I eat, and the options that they gave us, I could only eat like 3 protein options and I didn't really like them, and that's probably the hardest part that I had to get through this challenge, but I made it. Something that I want to say that I did successfully do was to incorporate more cardio early on. For me, I did sprints and sometimes I would do jump rope. It just depends which one you like. You could do Stairmaster, you could do walking, you could do all these other types of cardio, but adding cardio to your routine was something that helped me a lot in this process. So as this was a 20-pound challenge, I did lose 20 pounds. I actually lost 21 pounds. I'll put a before and an after. And there were a couple things that I noticed throughout the challenge that gave me an indication that it was working and I was progressing. One, I did measurements. I took videos, I took pictures. Obviously, I was checking my weight. A lot of people told me that my face looks slimmer. There's a lot of things that are like little victories, I would say, that tell you you are progressing. Even if it's not on the scale, like people noticed, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that does push you. Something that helped me keep my motivation was following. I know social media is a big part of our lives today, and so following people who were not necessarily on the same journey but were very health conscious and like conscious of training and eating well and all of that, like helped me to realize like I'm not the only one suffering. I want to talk about how I feel now versus how I felt in the beginning. In the beginning, I felt like it was never going to end, but I took it 1 week at a time. I think that's an important thing, not to look at it as 6 weeks, to look at it week by week basis, because that's basically what helped me to push through. I used to eat pizza and like burritos and all that all day and boba, but changing from different foods was a big thing, and so you do experience some bodily changes. I did get a couple headaches in the first 2 weeks, but that's normal just because your body is adjusting. I did feel bloated drinking a lot of water, but throughout the weeks, like your body starts adjusting as well, and it actually makes you feel less bloated. It is a high protein diet, and the reason high protein diets work so well is because your body will take 2 days to process a protein versus 1 day to process carbohydrates and stuff like that. And so when you increase your protein intake, what your body is doing is using up the energy, the fat storages, to break down that protein, that extra protein that you're putting into your body. And so when you're continuously putting more and more protein, your body is forced to kind of flush everything out in a way. I am not certified, I am not whatever, so please correct me if I say anything wrong, but from what I understand, that's what I know. This works, and it doesn't work for everybody, but it worked for me, and this is my process. So if you are considering it, I would first, of course, do your research. It's always important to do your research in any situation. But one, it's a protein-based diet, as well as like you're in a pretty big calorie deficit, which causes the weight loss. With it being a high protein diet, that means that you do have to eat your vegetables. You have to eat it because protein does make
you constipated.
And I know it's TMI, but it did happen to me because I wasn't eating as much like fiber dense vegetables. I wasn't going to the bathroom, and so I suggest to continuously eat your vegetables, eat as much as you can, because like it'll help you go to the bathroom. If you have any questions about like going to the bathroom, I did get constipated and I needed something. I recommend this tea called Smooth Move tea. You can find it at Target or like a grocery store, I think. And that for sure helped me. So I did want to talk about how I had a cheat day the day after my weigh-in, or the day of my weigh-in, because it was in the morning of Monday. So I did my weigh-in, I checked in, I got a free t-shirt, met my goal, blah, blah, blah. And I started eating throughout the day. I did feel the difference of the way I was eating and the way that I felt eating like normal calorie dense foods. So I think it obviously not only like makes you lose weight, but it also gives you this different mindset that you are a little more mindful, you are aware of how certain foods make you feel. You are able to notice which foods are beneficial for you and which ones are not, which ones will help you reach that goal or maintain what you have already accomplished. So that's an important thing to keep in mind for after the camp, because a lot of people like myself do go to the challenge, finish it, and then go back to the way that they were doing before, and that ultimately doesn't work. Doing your research as to what will help you, or asking the people at the camp how you can progress and still maintain what you've accomplished to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. But yeah, I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful and that, I don't know, you continue watching my videos. I enjoyed making this video. I know that when I was looking into the camp and was researching it, there weren't a lot of videos for some reason about reviewing them, but I am happy to offer this to anyone looking for a review, an honest opinion, and yeah. Thank you for watching. See you later.